Hi guys, here's the long-awaited who would Jesus vote for? Okay. Uh, Now, I'm not going to get into like all the things that each candidate claimed that they're going to do because, well, actually, basically, they're all lying to the people anyway. And those people who are asleep and that are following all this, um, we all basically who are awake know the truth about Obama, what's going on, and the same about Mitt Romney. So I'm going to get started here. Now, the one thing about the Americans don't know is this was a Gallup poll in regards to many Americans couldn't name Obama's religion. Uh, I'm just going to touch on this briefly. But the majority thinks that he's Christian. No, but 11% say he's Muslim. Well, they're partially correct. Reason I say, well, partially, let me think about that for a minute. Um, Now, you look at who his parents are. Now, his mother, uh, she was Jewish. Now, you guys can look that up if you don't believe me. She is. So, if he has a Jewish mother, then that means that he's Jewish, right? I mean, through his mother's lineage, because I don't know if Jewish considers itself white. I don't know. So, I I I don't think I don't know what they consider themselves as. So I just leave it at that. But anyway, they claim that his father was Barack Senior. Okay, a Kenyan student at the time. Well, some more things had come out that it really wasn't his father. I mean, he was used as a cover-up. And some think that his father was Frank Marshall Davis, who was a communist, um, and that was really anti-American, that hated this country. And then you can look at all these names up. You can go Google it and find what you can on it, and there's tons of information. So what is his religious faith anyway? Well, he was raised Muslim by his second stepfather, one in Indonesia. So his mother got around a lot, and so I do want to talk a lot about a little bit about his background, but not too much. But what I did find, this article here about Obama and Romney, they were worshiping at the Wailing Wall, and that's anti-Christian. Okay, so we know that Obama practices the Islam, and who claims that he was a Christian, but he spoke so much against Christians. I have another article I want to share about that to prove that he is anti-Christian. And Ronald Romney is a Mormon, and a lot of people who know about the Mormon and their doctrine, they're not even a church, and they're not even Christians. Actually, they're racist. And they're a very racist cult, really. And I think that a lot of the men that are in the Mormon church have to be Freemason. I could be wrong on that. And if you're a Freemason, you worship Lucifer. They deny Jesus Christ as Savior. And like Jesus said, that you can't have two masters, because you'll love one and hate the other. And you can look that up in the Bible too. That's in the Bible. He was talking about serving God and mammon, which is money. But if you can't serve God and you can't serve Satan, you can't do that. You can't go between light and evil. You can't do that. So the two guys are basically, they're just evil. And whoever gets it If Obama gets it because of default that how they're attacking us right now, that will suspend elections, there could be a lot of violence going on and a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos in result of that, which will possibly bring in the tribulation. I know this is probably make a lot of people mad. You know why I am targeting about the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem and the Western Wall, which is a big center of attraction there in Jerusalem that a lot of people go to, a lot of Christians go to. Actually, this is anti-Christian. These people look to their Messiah, but it's not Jesus, our Jesus. Their Messiahs are looking towards the Antichrist. That's why this is anti-Christian, because they are looking for the Antichrist. Get it? And that's why we don't need any of these two in office. Here's an article where we may not make it to the November election. So that means if we don't, then Obama will be in. This was taken from the Peter Santilli show. There is a video here, so I'll just leave the link. You can listen to that show, and you gotta really hear that show. It's very interesting. Okay, the next one here. Now this made me very upset. President Obama declares that the future must not belong to practicing Christians. Now you Christians out there, if you're set on voting for Barack Obama, I mean, I'm not telling you how to vote, but I'm showing you the proof right here that he is anti-Christian and what he wants to do with Christians. Okay? In his speech to the United Nations General Assembly, and there is a video on his speech at the United Nations. It's the most recent one here, which is was back in September. September 20. Well, this was dated 25th, but I think it was before this was written. But check that out. You've got to listen, because if it doesn't make you mad, I don't know what. It says the future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam. Okay? Yet to be credible, those who condemn that slander must also condemn the hate that we see when the image of Jesus Christ is desecrated and churches are destroyed or the Holocaust is denied. It says, let us condemn incitement against Sufi Muslims and Shiite pilgrims, and it is time to heed the words of Gandhi. Intolerance in itself is a form of violence and the obstacle in the growth of true democratic spirit. Well, that's another thing too. You can quote words of people, but if there's something that is wrong with a religion that kills innocent people, children, maims them, kills them, ruins the rest of their life through oppression, you cannot compare Islam to Jesus Christ. You can't do that. And kind of like smooth that over using Jesus Christ, that's wrong. That's totally wrong. I didn't like that at all. Now, Obama and the EPA, now they're going to mandate the 4-gallon minimum gasoline purchase, and not to think of what Obama thinks about. I live in a state that depends on coal production, and the majority of jobs is in the coal field. And they want to get rid, him and his cronies want to get rid of the coal mines and put a lot of EPA regulations on the coal mines. Now they say that coal is going out. Okay, but why? I mean, after all these years, coal mines, and now they're turning to natural gas. Um, Natural gas will go sky high where people can't afford it. That they couldn't afford it to even heat their own homes. That's what I see. It may happen. And the oil, well, that's another story. I could go on and on about that. But I need to move on because I don't have that much time. This is an article, it's a good article about how Romney and Obama are the same. And who Obama is being funded by. And for one thing, George Soros, who was a convicted criminal. And they talk about Glenn Beck and the World News Daily on how they manipulate the public to not really look into how these guys really are and what would happen even if Obama did stay in the White House and if Romney got the vote. And there will still be wars. There will still be a war if Romney got in. And because, too, Israel also supports Romney. Because there was a Israeli mogul who owned one of the big tabloids backed Romney. He gave him $1 million or something for his campaign. So you know what's going down with these guys. So you see here with George Bush, Obama, and Romney, it's just really really too much. I mean, a lot of people are probably saying, well, there's a lot of things that happen on Bush's watch, and then they blame Obama. But if I mention the Gulf of Mexico, what's happening down there, and what they've done to destroy the Gulf of Mexico, and during the BP oil spill, that was Obama's watch. Okay, you remember that. And I was mentioning something else too. Anyway, that the British Petroleum had changed a lot, changed their spokesperson, they changed their boards of directors, they changed their whole agenda. And a lot of other things had changed too since then to cover their tracks, basically. And I don't want to get into that. Of course, I have to talk about that in another video. It's just a lot of what red tape and all. It's just really, really bad. And when it comes to foreign policy of both, they're just basically the same. And we're not going to get out of our situation that easy, even if we elect either one. And another thing too, Obama lied about Benghazi in Libya, and his email showed that he did lie, and that he knew pretty much that what was going on, and where they attacked our ambassador there in the embassy, and that he knew that they were plans that were executed by Islamic terrorists there. And Obama and his administration knew within 2 hours of that. But he continued on to his campaign event in Vegas that same night. I'm running to the end, so I'll talk to you again in part 2, because I need to finish off what I was going to say about both candidates. So I'll see you over there in part 2. Bye.